I can't draw hands. It's time to fix that once and for all. Anytime you see any amount of artists gather together, one topic that you can be nearly positive that is going to come up is how difficult it is to draw hands. Something about these pesky little buggers just seems to really be a struggle to capture on paper. Hands seem to be a struggle for both humans and, as it turns out, AI. Who would have guessed? I've always admired the artists that have really sat down and figured out exactly what makes a hand look correct, and today I'm going to be attempting that myself. So tag along with me and let's figure this out. My plan is relatively simple. I'm going to study the anatomy of hands and look at how the different components fit together. Then I'm going to look at references and practice until I have 100 hands that I would be proud to show my art teacher. So here's a breakdown of all the bones that are in a hand, and I know it looks intimidating, but we're just going to be focusing on 3 parts. You have your carpals, which are a whole bunch of bones that make your wrist work properly. Then you have your metacarpals, which are sort of the base of your fingers. And then your phalanges, which are the parts of your fingers that bend and let you pick up stuff. Being in an anatomy class this year has hands down helped me figure out anatomy more than anything else. Go figure. As I begin to draw, I'm going to keep in mind these 3 main parts and make sure that I maintain their ratios, or else my hands are going to start to look skewed and just overall a little strange. I'm starting off with references from lineofaction.com. You can customize what kind of references you want to use, and here are some examples just so you can see. I'm fast forwarding through them here. And here was the art that I ended up doing with those references. I put it on, I think, 60 seconds, and I'm definitely seeing some progress already. Once I'd filled a page out of my regular sketchbook, I wanted to take a page out of my nicer sketchbook with a little bit sturdier paper and fill an entire page with those 100 hands that I was talking about earlier. This was quite the challenge, but I felt that I was up to it. And this time I was putting the references on for 5 minutes, and I was doing it quite a bit faster than that. I was about at 2 minutes thanks to all of that 60-second practice earlier. I'm skipping any references where the hands are holding something or holding onto another hand. I'm just picking the single hands just to make it a little bit simpler. And you also might notice that I'm not drawing fingernails, and that's because I feel like they're a little bit of a cop-out to be able to tell which side of the hand it is. And so if I restrict myself from drawing those fingernails, I have to put a little bit more effort into the other details. And I might go back on and add fingernails just so the hands look a little bit less shapeless, but overall I still think it works. Just as a side note, I know sometimes in the art community there's a bit of pride around not using a reference. You'll see people say, oh, I did this and I did it without references. And while that is definitely an amazing accomplishment that someone is able to draw from memory and their own imagination, let's not look down on using references, especially when we're learning new things. I noticed tons of things about hands that I had never noticed before, especially like little variances in hands, like the shape of fingers, because I always use my own hand as a reference, and so as a result all of my hands are right-handed and have the same sort of length that my fingers do. But with a reference I was able to explore different aspects that I hadn't noticed before, and I did not end up completing 100 hands yet. I stopped at exactly 20, and this is the result of that. I can already see a huge improvement, and now I'm feeling a lot more confident taking on hands. Bye!